Okay, good to go. At the top right of the map, Cloud Kingdom, we have our StarTale player, the runner-up of the last GSL season. Kodas, this is the one and only
StarTale Squirtle!
I remember feeling so sorry for him when he actually lost to MVP. Even though I like MVP, I felt like after he fought back, after he pulled off this comeback, after winning 3 consecutive games, then falling short in the last match, that must have been so disappointing to him. But well,
it made for an epic series.
Yeah, it definitely did. Best GSL finals ever, in my opinion. To the bottom left, though, in the blue, his opponent starting for FXO after a great game against Curious. We have
FXO here.
Weird gateway timing. 10 gate after a 9 pylon. Now, if you go for a 10 gate, usually you make your pylon at 10 as well, but in this case, not. He's going to have a very fast warp gate research as a result, and I don't think this is a coincidence. I think this is intentional, and I think he wants to get warp gate research out very quickly for some sort of aggressive timing.
We'll find out soon enough. His opponent is going for standard timings at the top right, and Squirtle is especially shining in his play against Terran, but also in the PvP he is really strong, and that he is coming out as the next player, that's something that Naniwa talked already about earlier, that it would be a possibility. Of course, for us now talking about the StarTale team, Naniwa is currently the best source that we have. He's living with the guys, he knows exactly how they are practicing, how they are training, how strong they currently are in the various matchups, and well,
look at the core timings, by the way. Not to change topics too drastically, but if you look at the core timings, you can see that he went core before second pylon. I mean, this is as fast as it gets for warp gate research. He is absolutely going to 4-gate here without a doubt. And oh, unfortunately, though, his probe will be spotted. That is unfortunate because that means that he knows that if the probe doesn't go into the main, then he's hiding a pylon. And if he does go into the main, that means he can track him a little bit easier. Warp gate research started now. Look at how ahead it is. And he is going to be spending all of his chrono on it. He has saved so much. Yep. He had 75. Actually, no, he had almost 90 there. Now he's got 70 left, and he is just going to keep smacking that Cyber Core.
He saved up nearly everything, and now he's still in his opponent's main base with a probe. He just got scouted by Squirtle, one Zealot trying to take down the probe, but of course not going to happen. And this is going to be really
I'm a little bit disappointed he didn't try to fake a gas or anything, because this seems very clearly a 4-gate now. I mean, he saw that the chrono research, he sees only one gas. What else could it be? He double checks, he sees again only the one gas.
We also have him, of course, at a lot lesser probe count as his opponent, because he did not use his, his chronos on his Nexus. He has 18 probes, that's all that he has right now. He's getting 2 additional gateways as we speak.
And right now, no sentries being made. He's actually sending his Stalker and Zealot across the map.
At the right side of the map, we have the pylon. And he's not going for 4 gates, he only gets 2 additional ones.
Yeah, and that is actually quite strange. He may decide to add a 4th one, but 3 gateway pressure is very scary as well, and some argue that it's actually better because it is a little bit more flexible. It really punishes a greedy build regardless.
There's the sentry.
Yeah, he needs it.
Yeah, he definitely does.
He's been spotted, but
does he see? No, the probe is being rallied back towards the pylon as he realized that he cannot reveal it right now.
If he basically what he tried to do, I think, was bait those units into the warp in so he could just kill them all for free on the outside. And now he's got 3 gateways of his own to defend, but he does not have warp gate research. He's only got the 1 sentry, no additional ones on the way yet. He's got a Twilight Council coming up here. He only has 1 force field.
There comes the double pylon on the low ground. He's moving in right away, tries to take down his opponent's Stalkers. One of them dies immediately, and Squirtle is in a little bit of trouble if he is not able to shut his opponent down, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
No, Tyr's got the warp in, it's ready, and it's going!
Oh my god, is he actually able to pull this off? 6 Stalkers against 1 at this point. He needs to swap in units, and here they go. 6-4 still. He has to pull all his probes in order to defend against this.
It's going to come down to the micro here. It's so far so good from Tyr, but the probes do surround.
Oh my god, how many of them is he actually losing? 20-21 now in favor of Tyr. Tyr is trying to control the choke point. He cannot warp onto the high ground now as he doesn't have vision. Here they come. The next warp in is hitting, and all these probes, they are not mining at all, and he's losing too many of them. Squirtle is in such a bad spot right now. He's down to 70 probes already, and more warp ins for his opponent. The force field is still blocking the ramp, but he has vision onto the high ground with the Zealot. The Stalker already died. The force field is gone, and he's moving. He's moving up once more, trying to take down these Stalkers, warping additional rounds.
Yeah, and he's even got a probe of his own fighting here, and more Warpins here may be problematic. He looks like he's going to hold the push initially, but he's losing so many probes.
He's down to 15 against 21. He might indeed be able to hold this push, but it's going to cost him a lot, and it already did.
Yeah, and
another one dies, and immediately Tier cuts Los's Orcs home. But 13 to 22 Harvesters, 13 workers killed by Tier.
Nobody's in gas. He's got, back at home, Tier's got double gas of his own. He warps in a sentry for defense. That's all he's going to need. He can start his robotics much faster, much more comfortably now. Twilight Council, of course, was canceled. It's something we didn't mention earlier, but he's got nothing. He's got practically nothing to fall back on. He's got a bigger army than his opponent, but that's not going to last long with the economy that he does not have.
17 to 24 as we speak. This is going to be really rough for Squirtle here. Not a good start.
Yep, now the tech is ahead, which is an ironic situation considering the build orders that we began with. Tech is ahead for Tier. Squirtle is a player who can make a victory happen in this matchup. In this case, but it is going to be a long road, an uphill battle.
It definitely is going to be. This is something that you did not really account for. StarTale sent him out for a reason here. They really thought that it would be the one player that can end this team match. And right now we have Tier, after defeating Curious, suddenly ahead against Squirtle. Squirtle is trying to expand now a lot faster than his opponent. He's not even starting his tech. Yeah, you have to take a little bit of a gamble.
He's got the one advantage he has with his army. So what's the best thing to do when you have that is to expand. You can't try to tech. You know your opponent's going to have faster than that. Oh, Warp Prism going down. This is actually really smart. Because he knows that his opponent's going to be doing something like this. He knows his opponent is vulnerable. And he's going to have a timing to hit. And he's likely just going to do another attack. He's going to do the second wave of the Warp Gate push.
How good is Squirtle's defense right now? He took a lot of losses in the early stage of the game, especially his economy was really crippled after this early on attack by Tier. But now he's trying to block this ramp. He's trying to just make sure that his opponent doesn't get an expansion. But he has no clue about the Warp Prism. He simply has no idea.
He's going to flank. He's going to use that pylon and the Warp Prism to warp in units on the high ground. He's going to flank and trap Squirtle's units. This is not something that Squirtle will expect. This is actually so smart by Tier. Squirtle is screwed, man. He has no way to escape. A good force field, but it's not going to matter.
God. Great force field here, and he immediately traps him. He takes down the Stalkers. He corners him. He pushes him into a corner, even saves his own Stalker. The Sentry dies, and the last Stalker, he gets off a kill, small double kill here, but that's all that he's going to achieve.
Now, the Warp Prism serves two purposes. Now it can reinforce the attack at the natural, and Squirtle has nowhere near enough units to hold. He will maybe have Blink in time, but that is not going to be enough, I don't think. Not against the Stalker count he's about to face.
He has to defend against this push or he is dead, and he will have such a huge amount of problems defending against it. It's not only the problem that with Blink maybe, with perfect micro, with a pro pull, but this is going to be so difficult for him to pull off. And he has the expansion and he has to defend it.
He pulls out. He is not going to try to hold it. He sees no nexus of his opponent, and he thinks, all right, well, I'm going to try to cut my losses here, but this is tough to bear. Force field, but he's got Blink. Got to be careful of that Warp Prism, it's vulnerable.
As Rydro would say, we build expansion and then we defend it, and he kind of has to do something like this. If he loses the expansion, he loses the only one advantage that he actually has over his opponent.
He still has Blink, you know, if he can hold on here a lot longer, he can maybe try to do something with the fact that he's got these Blink Stalkers, one base against one base.
There are units warped into the high ground on there. To the left, no, only a pylon build.
Yeah, but
the expansion is gone.
The expansion is completely gone.
At the bottom left, we have one unit warped in. I think there's a Zealot.
And
already killed.
Yeah. He's now going to be able to make a Nexus. This pylon was not cancelled, so it's a waste. And this is a frustrating position for Squirtle. The one advantage he has is Blink, but if his opponent already knows about it, which he does, he can just make Immortals, and he's already done that as well.
The problem is that Tier has Blink on his way as well, and Blink will hit in just a few seconds, and with the army that he has, the FXO player will just establish a base. Squirtle is on his last leg here.
He really is. We're going to see a small little Zealot drop, and it will, of course, be deflected momentarily, but it's going to be annoying to deal with. He has to warp in units here rather than at his opponent's base.
He doesn't even bother to drop the Zealot. He knows fully well that this is not going to work.
Yeah.
But he scouts and he sees the attempt of Squirtle to get his expansion up again.
The Stalkers are actually going to go on an intercept path here, though. I really like that. He may actually catch this Warp Prism on the right side. Not quite. The second Immortal is about to pop out, and with the blink he has, he is going to be able to attack and kill. Tier has no plans for next side of this game. He will lose his Warp Prism, though.
Yes, the Warp Prism is going to die. There it is. The Warp Prism is dead. And this is a small win for Squirtle.
He catches
Nice
the
blink
stalker,
here.
though.
Yeah, catches a few. Actually, 2 of them die.
And this is really scary. He's ahead in supply right now. The Nexus is not going to pay off. Will he cancel? The answer to that is no. He does not cancel. He knows this is his moment. If he holds this and he holds the Nexus, they're going to be on even tech, and he may be able to get himself back into this.
15 to 12 Stalkers and 2 Immortals.
Yeah, the Immortals are the key. He's making his own Nexus back at home, so he has something to fall back on. He doesn't even have to make this
It's a
work.
smart decision.
It certainly is. Guardian Shield goes up.
He moves in immediately, and here we go. The blink battle has begun. Those 2 Immortals are not in position just yet. They don't get off any shots at all. And Squirtle is playing this well, forcing his opponent back. He holds. Squirtle actually holds at least so far, but here comes another attack as FX opens. Tier is now going for the Dark Shrine as well.
He blinks into the main as well. Just a small group of Stalkers. He knows with the Immortals he can fight the army on the low ground, and in the main he's taking out a lot of probes. And so many are being pulled right now.
He blinks
again.
Offensive blink, and
the
here comes the
Immortals are
Immortals. It's too much. They target down probes right now as the Stalkers are out of range, but does it really matter? I don't think it does.
No.
10 to 13 Stalkers, the Stalker count in favor of Tier, and even though Squirtle blinks like a boss, it is just not enough.
29 supply. The Immortal pops out and is targeted down so fast. That Immortal couldn't even blink into onto
GG! And Tier suddenly, he brings FXO to a, well, 4 points. 4 to 3.
They are in the lead. And who is going to be the last player, you know? Ordinarily, I think you would say Parting. But after the PvP we just saw, I don't know. It was a bit, there was a lot of build order advantages that Tier got in this game, but his transitions were flawless. His micro was great. His decision making, beautiful.
When Tier stepped into the booth, I will be completely honest with you, I did not expect him to take down 2 StarTale players.
No.
I'm completely honest with you here. This, he really comes through for his team right now. That is a great performance here. Being curious is one thing. He played a very nice game by taking down Squirtle as well. Very good job. FXO can be very proud here, and now suddenly it is StarTale who's really squirming a little bit. So far, the entire time, StarTale had a little bit of an advantage. They could always react to what their opponent was doing, so they were in a great position, but Tier, he turned things around.
Yeah, and suddenly FXO might be going to the round of 4 instead of StarTale this time. I mean, it's possible. They can actually get through this. They can do it. They're looking strong right now.
Antigua is the next map. And I'm so excited to see who exactly is going to be the last player for the StarTale team.
Yeah, you know, what if they send out someone like Sound, for example? I mean, that's a possibility.
Could be.
I mean, there's a lot of players on that bench right behind us that actually do not get seen very often, but train really, really hard and are underrated.
Parting would be the one player that we expect. Guys, don't forget that the last map would be Metropolis.
Yeah, so those are the last 2 choices we have.
Yeah.
I do not think we will see a Zerg on Antigua against Tier.
No,
and if it were, who would it
be? I don't think so either. I mean, you can send out July, but
I King
don't.
Kong, but
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think it has to be Parting.
I would say Parting or another Terran that is good in this matchup right now. All right, the wait is over.
Yeah, to top right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Parting gives his Protoss brother a hug and stands up and gets ready to sit down as he is going to be the one in the booth, showing off that even though Squirtle was defeated, maybe he can come through for his team with his new haircut and charming smile and excellent Protoss skills. So far in the GSTL, he has not been as impressive as some of his teammates, but in the individual league, he has looked really scary. He had quite a run. He was destroying MLG, he was killing Marine King in several series, he looked amazing, and he hasn't looked as strong in the past few weeks especially, but he's still a tough opponent to beat.
If you look at how this clan match actually went, everything worked in how StarTale imagined it. I mean, they had not a single... They didn't have a player who really eliminated a lot of their opponents, but Lucky only took one map. Lenok only took one map, and this is kind of what you want to achieve. You want to make sure that you always counter out your opponent's players, and they took down the heavy hitters early on. So suddenly it is Tier who might turn things around here. He has to face Parting, and this might be our last match. But guys, we have a 5-minute break, then we are back with Tier against Parting, and we will see if FXO has to send out their last player as well. Be back in 5.